how to split your universe to make identical copies? Keep watching and I'll show you.
What?
Yeah, it's actually pretty easy. For example, put your finger on a random spot on the table. Bam! You just created a parallel universe. How? Buckle up because it's about to get complicated. A wave function is a complex function that gives a probability about where a particle will be in the future. However, we can't see a wave function. Instead, we measure and find the specific spot where the particle is. This irreversibly collapses the wave function and gives one specific answer. The probability of observing a certain outcome is given by the amplitude in the wave function that is associated with that outcome squared. Now let's take a look at Schrödinger's cat. Meow. A cat is put in a box with a radioactive atom and a radiation detector that releases a poisonous gas. If the atom decays, radiation is detected, poison releases, and the cat dies. If not, nothing happens and the cat lives. Since the state of the cat, the detector, and the poison depend on the state of the atom, they are all entangled. When things become entangled, what happens to one entangled particle also affects the state of the other one. Thus, if we know the state of one, we know the state of the other. Therefore, entangled particles have the same wave function, and measuring one also affects the state of the other because their single wave function has collapsed. And actually, the whole universe has one wave function since everything in the universe interacts and therefore is entangled. Anyway, according to quantum mechanics, the state of the atom does not have to be either decayed or not decayed. It is in a superposition of both, decayed and not decayed at the same time. But if, let's say, we put a sensor in the box to tell us if the atom is decayed, the wave function would collapse, and the atom would have to choose between a state of being either decayed or not decayed, and resultingly, the cat would have to choose a state of being either dead or alive. This shows how entangled quantum objects have one wave function. But wait, how is superposition possible? Good question. While we can't observe something being in two states at once, we can indirectly see it in the two-slit experiment. Shoot individual electrons through two slits at a screen that marks where it lands, and a straight pattern forms. This shows us that the electron goes through both slits at the same time. We come to this conclusion because according to Louis de Broglie, particles behave like waves. If a wave goes through both slits, two new waves are created and interact with each other, creating an interference pattern, which is the striped pattern that we see. This proves that the electron would have to go through both slits simultaneously, thus being in superposition. Going back to the cat, everything made of atoms, including us, is quantum mechanical. So when we open the box, we get entangled with everything in it, and so does our environment. So we see the cat alive and dead. Now, you can't see a dead/alive cat, but a version of you sees it dead, and another version sees it alive, just in different worlds. When a quantum object in superposition gets entangled with its environment, the universe splits into slightly different copies. It splits when there's a possibility of multiple outcomes, making all the outcomes happen as long as they obey the laws of physics. So yeah, there's a world in which I'm a scuba diver, and you and I are best friends. Going back to my table example, it creates a parallel world because before I randomly select a spot on the table, there are multiple possible outcomes for the location that I touch the table at. Since all outcomes happen, the universe splits, and in this world, I may be touching the table here, but in another one, I may be placing my finger here. Isn't it beautiful how subtly powerful it all is? By moving my finger, I can split the entire universe. There's so much that we still don't know about quantum physics, but it's up to us, as young scientists and engineers, to one day solve these mind-boggling mysteries. So let's try to make the parallel universe that we live in the best one probable.